Hey, what's up, universe? It's 12:38 p.m. on Thursday, July 27th, 2023. I just uploaded a video to my LinkedIn account, and I posted it here as well on Instagram just to share it. So just want to speak a little bit more candidly about that post than I did in my LinkedIn, because here on Instagram I allow myself to ramble, and just kind of flow. So if you haven't watched that video, just real quickly, Jason gave me, his two options, right? I went ahead and chose option number 2, which was to forfeit the lease, which allows me to stay through the 31st of July. So I have to be out by the 31st, or he's gonna come by on the 1st and check out the property, so I've got to be gone before then. And I feel better, honestly, now that I've made that choice, now that I've made a decision. I feel a lot more relaxed. Even though that doesn't solve my debt problems, my unemployment issue, my food situation, it doesn't really solve any of the stuff that I was dealing with, although I feel so much better in my body. And that's the thing I've learned about choices, is that once I've made a choice, then like the universe kind of just molds itself around that, it's like knocking over a domino. I've decided to knock this domino over, and then the pattern that unfolds because of that it's unfolding now. Whereas before I was indecisive. I didn't know what was going on. I felt like I was trying to make things happen. I felt like I was trying to hold on to this property. I was trying to make something work. As I think I've mentioned in previous videos, where looking for a technical solution, right? Meaning a job that is employing my technical abilities. That's what I've been looking at, and that's what I've been trying to find that felt in alignment with me. And I kept trying and I kept trying and I kept trying, and nothing was working out. And I've run into this before too, where if I keep trying to make something happen, then I just need to learn to just let it go. Now, I was not doing that here. I was constantly, because I was trying to keep this property. I was trying to solve this problem, which isn't really a problem. It's just I was trying to keep something that wasn't meant for me, at least anymore. And I do view this house as a lesson in that. Now, so there's a couple things that I've had experience with before that I'm learning or relearning or re-experiencing again. One of those is that I just mentioned, if I continue to try to make something happen and I keep meeting resistance, then I just need to let it go. And then the other lesson is the power of decision, the power of choice, okay. And then the third lesson is letting go. Now, again, I'm just reminded of Lost, the show Lost. Spoiler alert coming up, okay? So towards the end of the show, last season 6, the last 2 or 3, maybe 4 episodes, somewhere in there, Jack the doctor is talking to John Locke, and John Locke is a paraplegic, and Jack tells John, that John's beating himself up because he's the cause, he's the reason he's in his wheelchair, but more importantly, he's the reason his dad is, has suffered massive brain trauma, can't speak, really just doesn't know what's going on, and is just more or less in a vegetative state. So John is punishing himself and feels that he deserves to be in the wheelchair. So Jack is relating to this and speaking to John and tells him, look, you can beat yourself up, or you can learn to let go. And he's like, I'm not, sorry. Jack says, he goes, I know that's way easier said than done. And he goes, I'm not really all that good at it myself. He's like, so I was kind of hoping you would do it first. And that made me laugh, because I get it. And it's in that show, John Locke is the character that I actually resonate with the most. And it's because John he's the one that's like, in the beginning of the show, he's like, you just visualize it and you can make it happen. And he's the one that has like this unwavering faith, and that he's meant to be there. There's a reason he's experiencing what he's experiencing. And he goes through so many trials. And his character just resonates deeply with me. And so this letting go part, and that's what John does in the end. He learns to let go. And so it just is really resonating. That message is really resonating with me, and I can feel that in my body today as I'm letting all of this go and just allowing it to happen. So I feel some relief in the sense that I have a few more days of shelter and a house and access to a shower and my stove and my oven, and so my food situation is taken care of. There's things I'm really grateful for, even though there's things that I'm unsure of still. It feels so much better in my body. And because of how that feels, that really satiates my faith, because I'll tell you what, over the last couple of days, I even today wrote Angela, and I was like, I'm at my edge. I'm like as far as I can go without, I don't know, being like, I don't know, like giving up, like letting go in a very permanent way was totally things that came up. Suicidal ideation totally came up because I was so at my end and I was fighting to hold on. And it was through that struggle that led me to that darkness, and learning to let go, to allow myself to open up and just let it go and let it be. That nourishes my faith. And it may seem really odd and paradoxical, trust me. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me either, although it absolutely aligns with all of the experiences that I've had in my life while practicing these things. And letting go is not easy. Because I still have fear in some regards. Like, I've lived without my sons before, and that's not at all what I'm looking to do now. So, holding on, I had a real reason to fucking hold on. So, I can only trust that letting go opens me up to receive an answer that brings a solution to these things. I don't really believe that I'm meant to be apart from my kids again. I tell you, I was really trying to force the solution and hold on to what I know, which is this house. Like, I know my kids are living here. I know that this is how it's been, and it has been for a long time, and like, I know that they're here with me. And letting go opens that up to like total uncertainty. And that freaked me out. So that's my message. Here's the other thing. I'm sorry, totally. This is related, I feel like, in a symbolic way. the thing that I forgot to, that I dropped out of my head in my earlier video, is that up in the, right outside my door where I sit at my computer, there's a, like if you saw the pictures of the snake, right? That bird's nest, and the snake was like back in May, I think, or June. So you'd have to scroll through my stuff to go find it. But anyway, that same pillar, there was another bird that came after that snake, came by, made a nest again, and had its chicks there, or birds, I'm not sure what you call them. And they're gone today. Now, they didn't get eaten, because I've been every day, like multiple times, I check on these birds. They grew, and it was time for them to move on. And yesterday they were still here. Yesterday they were still here. This morning, they're gone. Now, I know this because the babies, like I would check it, and all of them are gone. It's not just the mom or the dad or whatever, like, they're all gone. I'm like, well, if that's not symbolic, I don't know what is. So, what's up, universe? I see you, and I thank you. And I do want to acknowledge, too, that as I've gone through this trial and tribulation, the set of ordeals here, before, I would get really shitty with the universe and angry and frustrated with the universe. And I mentioned in some videos before where I got kind of crappy with the universe, but I will totally admit and say that this time, like in my body, I really haven't felt that vinegar, that saltiness towards the universe, because I know my relationship. I have felt crazy confused and crazy lost, and I have cried and begged for an answer, but I haven't had in my body the anger and the frustration and lashing out energetically towards the universe. I'm like, look, I understand that there's things that are here with me. There's things that are participating with me, and I'm just grossly confused. And I just want to acknowledge that energy shift, I think, is really important, because I haven't had that before. So I'm just noting it. So I definitely am grateful for my angels and my watchers and my guides and the archangels and the ascended masters in the universe. Thank you for your patience, your kindness, your generosity. Thank you for our relationship. Thank you for your just being here with me. And that includes all of you as well. Because one of the things I've been working with, and I mentioned this way back in like April or May, is I've been working on, and this is something I don't do often, and I'm working on bringing it into like more of a focus, is that everybody in my life is either an angel or a watcher or a guide or an archangel or an ascended master. They're reflections of the universe, so they're meant to be part of my process. And there's nothing but love for that. So I'm deeply grateful for all of you, and thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention and the space that you've provided me. Thank you for journeying with me. It's absolutely priceless. All right, so that's my update. That's what I have. I love you guys. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.